Welcome back to another episode of Definitely Not Mechanics. In this episode, I'm going to be putting some underglow on the Blazer, but not typical underglow. Today, we're going to find out how well it's going to be to use LED cubes as well as some rock lights meant for off-road vehicles underneath this. Realistically, it breaks down so much that I need some light under there constantly to work on it. And I want it to look like a fucking spaceship. So I've got all of these that I've collected from other projects, trades, etc. I've got harnesses, extra wiring, got loom, I've got spools of wire, connectors, full harnesses from light bars and stuff that never got used, never even opened. We're gonna see what we can put together to make this thing glow. Okay, starting with the back, there are these little holes right here in the frame. Ooh, these little holes right here in the frame, and they're pretty big comparatively to the size of these little guys. So I cut these little squares out to use as washers to cover the whole hole, that way it doesn't pull through. And they bolt up there pretty good. Now as far as light goes, I'm using the floods on the rear here. I've just got this little setup on them here. And, well, oh no. Hold on, I think I broke something. Oh, my ground's not in. Got the ground. There you go. So as you can see, it makes a pretty good amount of light down here on the ground. Now, I'm gonna put the other one on the other side, that way the whole back's lit up, and then I'm gonna take these guys right here, and they're gonna mount up in the fender wells, shining down. Those are floods as well. And the rest of these are spots. So that is gonna prove a little bit of a problem, but I'm wondering if I could take one at the front here and point it back and angle it right to give me enough beam all the way through. If not, I've got more lights. So this one's mounted up. This one's mounted up. Just gotta tighten those down, run some wiring for these. So I've got this pretty sweet splitter connector here. Got a 2-wire, goes into this and splits off into 2. It was originally for 2 LED cubes. So connected these, got a little bit of that melty stuff there. Heat it up, that's gonna be sealed. Now I've got wire loom to go over all this, and that way if I need to disconnect the rears for any reason, I can, and I don't have to cut any wires. Bring this right over here. Bring it behind all of this stuff. I want it as tucked in here as possible. I don't want it attached to the bumper, because if I want to take the bumper off, I want to be able to take the bumper off, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna wrap all these together just so everything's good and secure. So one cool thing you can do with your wire loom, let's say we tape this up here. Don't cut the tape yet. This is where we're gonna start our wire loom, and I'll show you why. So as you can see, this is where the beginning of our loom is. And that tape just hangs right out between that split. From there, you wrap it around and keep wrapping it, and it's gonna make a better seal, and it's gonna look better rather than starting at one end and working your way down. And that's actually how the factory does it, so you don't ever have any chance of it sliding off, because it's literally joined in right there. Now, one thing I always like to do after I've put some lights in, whether it just be 2, 1, or whatever, before I start running wire all the way down, I like to test it out to make sure that they work. So I've got my tester tool set up. Let's put some juice up in it. There you go, that's both of them. That's a good sign that all my connections are good and nothing's going wrong back here, so I can rule this out in any further diagnosis. Damn, that shit is bright. Okay, so I've got this loom right here. It's not split loom, this is solid, so I had to run these wires through here. I just need a short amount. When you're working with this, or even with split loom, it's always a good idea to stagger your connectors. That way you don't have a big bulge hanging out and you can slide them right over. So I'm just gonna pull this through here. See how one barely fits in there? Boom. Two are in there. You never know. No bulge. You always want to protect your bulge, fellas. So, this is the rock light that I've got here on this side. I've just got it self-tapped straight up there. I put some silicone on the self-tapper so no water can get up in there. This is loosely zip tied up here. I'm gonna add one more there. So it comes all the way across, comes down and back into this harness. Now the way I did this is a little bit different. Since these were such little wires coming off of this rock light, I just twisted it around and ran it in that same side. That way I can run the rest of the wiring up to the front off of that. Should be all right. These aren't gonna pull a lot of power, so. Okay, so there's that one mounted up. You can see it's definitely higher up than this lip. I got about a finger gap there, so I'm not worried about getting hit with anything. It's made to get hit with rocks and shit, so I'm not concerned. Zip tied all the way down, ran back, whoops. And then it's ran up to here. This is as far as I've gotten on this side. Now the other side, remember I've got both the rears and this side wired in, and this is about to the same point. So from here I got to figure out where I'm gonna put these right here. And I'm thinking that if I point them, if I tuck them up in here and point them back, since they're spots, it'll light up the whole way to the back tires. So have to find a place in there to mount them. I may just weld them to the frame. Probably the best route, huh? Yeah, just want to get a shot. This is what we got so far. So my idea with these lights didn't quite work out. So we wrangled up something we found in the shop here. Some LED bars. These are actually what these are made for. I use short ones over here because I've got kind of a short wheelbase vehicle. We're gonna put the rest of those pods at the front. I might just end up running all four at the front, or maybe put two in fog light holes that I have here. Just cut those bezels out to fit them and tuck them right behind there. We'll figure that out. All right, so we're moving right along. These got zip tied in because Daddy got lazy, I guess. But we got all the wires tucked, everything's out of the way, nothing's gonna get scraped, pinched, rubbed on, burnt, anything like that. We got good clearance on the manifold, so we're all right there. Last thing to do is just wire up the fronts. I've already got this harness kind of laid in here about where I want it. The relay's laying down in here, tucked away where it's not gonna get hot. And then our power and ground are right here with the fuse and everything. We got cables running down this way, and I'm gonna set this up to where we plug in the harness. That way I can unplug the harness quick from up here, just in case anything were to arise, or if I didn't want somebody using them, but I didn't want to disconnect the switch on the inside. This is our switch wire right here. I'm not sure if it's gonna be long enough to lay over and then go all the way into my console. So I might have to lengthen that or just completely rewire the switch part. Don't think that I'm gonna want it to light up just because that's annoying. And I've got plenty of other switches in there to run. Well, she's definitely bright as hell. I think not using the cubes on the side may have been a bad idea, because you can see it's so limited due to the rocker. It doesn't come out any. So I think maybe if I mounted cubes on this end and this end pointed outwards, the light would shine out from under it. This has always been my biggest beef with any kind of underglow, is just the clipping from the body. I mean, you can see that's actually pretty well centered. Still have to do a lot of adjustments. If you look right here, you see how you can see the spokes in this shadow? That's because I have these lights pointed outwards. and these are pointed straight down. So I think I'm gonna move these and make them to where they're pointed outwards as well, because I like the way that lights up my wheels in there. I think it would look cool on both sides. But I think she jammed out pretty good. We've got 2 spots in the front. We've got rock lights in the front, rock lights in the rear. We've got LED actual underglow tubes under here, running all the way down. There's a better look at that one. And then these are floods in the back. I kind of wish I had a bunch of floods, which I thought I did have a bunch of floods. Would have ended up a lot better. I think if I had those facing towards each other, it would light that up more instead of just looking like a butt. It really did. It just looks like an ass. Nice. I know this episode wasn't super in-depth. Really, I was just trying something that I'd always theorized about to see if LED cubes that are used for the exterior of off-road vehicles would work as rock lights or as, you know, some sort of underglow. And I think it worked out. I mean, that's definitely underglow. Oh, you like my shirt? You can pick up your own at definitely-not-mechanics.com, along with all of our other shirts that have the rust bucket on them and our classic logo. Every order comes with a free koozie, or you can buy just a koozie. I doubt that'll come with a free koozie. We might throw in a sticker though. You can get all your stickers, your shirts, and the new hoodie right there on our website, definitely-not-mechanics.com. And yes, that's an American flag made of zip ties. Come on, stick with the program here. We're gonna have a rotary race truck. We need money to fund it. We're broke. Buy our merch. Buy this shirt. Buy the other shirts. Buy a koozie. Buy a sticker. Buy the new hoodie. Definitely-not-mechanics.com. Do you want to see the stickers? Because I can show you the stickers. Here's one right there. Definitely-not-mechanics.com. Pick up your merch.